Politics, politics, politics. Do we ever hear of anything else? And just imagine if the Holy Father had always lived in America and the government was trying to run him out. This was the intense political atmosphere that Don Bosco and his boys were in. But he never lost his cool or became agitated over politics. Instead, he predicted that all would be well at a time when things were most grim. Stick around to find out if he was right. The Miracles and Prophecies of St. John Bosco, a project of America Needs Fatima. I'm your host, Adrian Fonseca. Subscribe for new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today we'll discover how Don Bosco balanced political awareness with spiritual wisdom, and how his prophecies about Italy's future came true with amazing precision. Look out for these key points in today's video. Don Bosco's remarkable use of time in God's service, his balanced approach to political upheaval, and a question to ponder. How can we maintain peace amid political turmoil, as Don Bosco did? And before we begin, sign up as a monthly promoter to support our work and receive free gifts in return. The link is in the description box down below right now, and I'll tell you more about it later on in the video. During summer vacation of 1860, Don Bosco's good friend, Father John Bonetti, wrote, "He abhorred idleness, and taught by example that our days must be wholly employed in God's service. Above the door of his room he kept the inscription, 'Every moment is a treasure.' He was never seen wasting an instant, either at home, in the oratory, or out. Since he had to go out nearly every day either to visit the sick or to beg for help, he put that time to good use by taking along a priest, a cleric, or a coadjutor brother to discuss personal matters with him. If he took a trip alone, he read his mail, corrected gallery proofs, continued work on a book he was writing, or prayed. This also was his custom when he went out with his boys on hikes in the fall. When he sent boys to the town of Becci a couple of weeks before the Feast of the Holy Rosary, which had been a tradition at the oratory since its beginnings, he made sure that they were never idle. He liked them to take hikes to neighboring villages, or to help his brother Joseph with the grape harvest. For their mental and spiritual health, he continued to implement the oratory practices, setting aside regular times for prayers and devotions, all too aware of the necessity of review and repetition. Don Bosco adjusted the schedule so that they could spend an hour or so a day reviewing the schoolwork of the past year, or getting the taste of the courses that they would be studying during the upcoming school term. They always had a cleric or a priest to coach them. Occasionally, they were even given lessons in French. The time for the yearly excursion to Becci was drawing near, and on September 15th, the Feast of Our Lady of Sorrows, the first contingent of pupils set out. 3 days later came the sad news, the Battle of Castelfidardo. On September 9th, the Prime Minister of Piedmont sent an ultimatum to the Pope, demanding that he dismiss his foreign troops. When he failed to do this, 2 days later, 35,000 Sardinian troops crossed the border. The papal troops were caught by surprise and thrown into confusion. The battle is remembered for being bloody and for the highly disparate number of troops. Fewer than 10,000 papal soldiers composed of volunteers from many European countries to 39,000 Sardinians. In view of this, there was some fear at the oratory that Don Bosco might cancel the Becci trip, since Becci was in the Marche region where the battle took place. But he had no such intention. Though he suffered greatly for the Pope's afflictions and deplored what was happening, everyone at the oratory shared his sorrow. For example, the cleric John Cagliero, after leading a group of boys to Becci, went to visit his mother in Castelnuovo. He later described what happened. "While I was at Castelnuovo, a former teacher of mine, a priest, upheld and defended the government for its invasion of the Marche in Umbria, adding too that the Pope, without harm to religion, could very well leave Rome and transfer his residence to Jerusalem or anywhere else. Thus Italy could be united and independent." I did not remain silent. I opposed him so heatedly that the next day, believing I had been disrespectful, I apologized. Waving aside my apologies, he said, "I sympathize with you. Don Bosco so works you up for the Pope that the whole lot of you would not hesitate to be martyrs for him." Meanwhile, at the oratory during playtime after lunch or after supper, the clerics would crowd about Don Bosco to discuss the political events that caused so much agitation in Italy. Since the primary war efforts were directed against the Kingdom of Naples, they were anxious and curious to know how the war would end. Don Bosco's reply to them is contained in Father Rufino's chronicle. On October 1st, Don Bosco said, "This crisis will end in 1861. The political future of these regions will be settled in 1862. Don Bosco's prognostications proved entirely true. In 1861, France, then England, Belgium, Portugal, Switzerland, Holland, and the United States, Greece, Prussia, and Turkey recognized the new Italian kingdom. The last to do so was Russia on August 6, 1862. Thus, Don Bosco's predictions were fulfilled to the letter." Don Bosco's prophetic insights show us that prayer is our most powerful weapon in times of uncertainty. During his own turbulent era, he relied on the strength of communal prayer and devotion to Our Lady. As a monthly promoter, your intentions will be included in our daily rosaries and Saturday masses. Like Don Bosco's boys who gathered to pray for the Pope during difficult times, your prayers will join with ours in a powerful symphony of intercession. Together, we can storm heaven with our petitions, just as Don Bosco taught. Ready to be part of this prayer movement? Join our monthly promoter family today. The link is in the description box down below right now to sign up. Today's story beautifully weaves together Don Bosco's approach to time and politics. He viewed every moment as a precious gift from God, a treasure, as proclaimed by the sign above his door, to be used for the good of others, or self-improvement. His balanced attitude towards politics serves as a model for us today. While deeply concerned about his country's troubles and the Pope's trials, he transformed anxiety into prayer and maintained steadfast trust in divine providence. Don Bosco's prophetic gifts flowed from this deep well of faith and detachment from worldly concerns. Even as battles raged, he kept his boys' traditions and activities, showing us how to maintain peace amid turmoil. His example teaches us that true wisdom lies not in political agitation, but in faithful service and unwavering trust in God's plan. But what strikes you the most about Don Bosco's prophetic gifts and his balanced approach to political turmoil? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below, because I would love to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today. St. John Bosco, pray for us. May God bless you, and Mary Immaculate keep you under her mantle. God love you.